everybody, Cool Dad in the house. Welcome to another episode of Cooking with the Cool Dad, although I probably already had an intro before this. I haven't decided if I'm doing that yet, so you may or may not see this part. I gotta run out to the store to grab a couple things, so while doing so, I figured I would grab a few ingredients to make a kind of a special dish that isn't super popular around here at least, but I've always been intrigued by. We're making kebabs today. So, you're going to join me on the run to the store, and we're going to have a quick montage of shopping at some point. So, hope y'all are staying safe and sane during this whole COVID business. As you'll see, as you may know, New York has required you to wear a mask if you go out. I'm not stupid. I look at it this way, is that this whole thing is going to get people to go out that probably shouldn't, so I got extra protection. So, blah, blah, blah. I'll cut that. I want to do a huge shout out to NY Farm Girls. Thank you for being fans. And I know we bounced. I was actually, I went to high school with their mother. That sounds weird, but we were talking the other night. We actually, we were bouncing around the idea of doing a collaboration cooking video, which I think that could be fun. I think we'd have a lot of fun with that. But, but yeah, shout out. Thank you guys just for everything you do for agriculture advocation. I think I got the words right. It's early. I'm only on my first cup of coffee. But thank you guys for all you do with that, because honestly, without farms, it'd be damn hard to go to the store and get the kind of stuff I want to get to make food, wouldn't it now? So I guess I'm going to pause this now, and I'll clip it later and then do the montage when I get there. I know some of you are probably looking at this mask around my neck and thinking, Cool Dad, isn't that a little bit overkill? And probably is, to be quite honest, it probably is, but, and this is the only time I'm going to even remotely come close to getting into politics here, I hope. I make no promises to that, but my biggest concern is that over the years working in EMS and healthcare, I took a lot of mask fit and PPE classes, so I know how it's supposed to work, and nobody's really got that information. They aren't giving that out. But here's the thing. When you put a bandana or even a surgical type mask over your face, hell, even an N95 when it comes right down to it, after about 10 minutes or so, the higher end N95 type masks, it's going to take a little bit longer, yes, but after about 10 minutes or so, the humidity in your breath causes the material of the mask, and the thinner and lighter and more easily available, I guess, the material is, like when you get down to like bandana level, the faster this is going to happen. And once that material is damp, it doesn't really protect anybody anymore, because that damp / moist, because somebody's going to hate that word, material is now a perfect transmission route for any type of virus or bacteria. It'll slide right through. Now, you get somebody who shouldn't be going out, who is going out because they think they can, because they put a piece of bandana over their face. Every time they cough, sneeze, or breathe heavy, they're propelling that off of the front of the mask material to everyone around them. And if you're perfectly healthy and walking around with this mask on after 10 minutes that's wet, if it lands on the front of your mask, guess what? It's coming in. So, I choose to go digging in my old hazmat materials and pull out a respirator that has P100 filter cartridges on it. These are new cartridges as of this whole event. And I've got another set on the way, so life is good. The difference is when I inhale, it comes through the cartridges. When I exhale, it goes through the air out port here, which is a separate port. So I'm not putting all the humidity through those filter cartridges. So I'm not really setting them up for the failure like that. Okay. Lady, watch where you're walking. Oh, I might have to edit that out, but I may not. People just don't pay attention to parking lots. So, time to actually sip of coffee. Love my Yeti mug. It keeps things nice and hot. Won't be able to do that for a minute. Here we go, folks. Now for the store montage. Okay, survived. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of wearing masks, but you do what you gotta do to stay family healthy. So, on that note, I'll see y'all back at the house. Morning again, everybody. Welcome back to Cooking with the Cool Dad. I'm the Cool Dad. What can I say? Today, I've got a little bit of a treat for you, something a little bit different. Get a little more into actually making something. Not just throwing something in the air fryer, not just, it's going to be fun. This is something that has always intrigued me, and not something I've really been able to get regularly around here. However, a lot of friends of mine in the UK, thank you, clock. A lot of friends of mine in the UK are always, sharing pictures of it. They get it the takeaway version, and which we would call takeout. And in case you couldn't figure that out, so a good friend of mine sent me a recipe. Thank you, Dale. Thank you, Abe. Appreciate it. Actually, Dale. Goes by Abe on Facebook, but real name is Dale. So, okay, take a break. Take a break. Yes, the dogs are back by popular demand. Yep, I'm gonna have to wash my hands again now. Go take a break. So, I'm going to be making kebab. It is a lamb mixture that's cooked and then shaved and put over a flat style bread with lettuce and tzatziki. And yeah, let's get on with it. I mean, hey, it's going to be a good time. Now, I'm going to wash my hands. I'm debating putting this to a montage, but I probably won't because you need to see that washing hands is important. The sad part is, I literally washed my hands right before I started. But after touching the dog that been outside, I washed them again. Okay. And yes, I have a hand towel here somewhere, but I gotta get that out of the dryer. Okay, let's reposition the camera and get to work. Now, I will be very honest with you, this is an adjusted recipe because I cook for one these days, and I'm taking the regular recipe and working with what I can get my hands on. So, where did it go? There it is. First ingredient, and I'm sure this is going to piss off the PETA people real well, ground lamb. Bam. Yes, I went to Wegmans. Fortunately, this time of morning, I went in the morning because I want this done for later on today. It wasn't too bad. Now if I can just open the damn package. Okay. Open by force it is. Okay, so now the original recipe calls for a little over 2 pounds, calls for a kilogram. Now the neat thing is, if you're not good at converting, from metric to imperial, like I'm not. Now mind you, I used metric for many years working in healthcare, but don't ask me to convert. It just doesn't work. So if you have a Google Home or Amazon Echo type thing, or any type, you have a smartphone, most of them you can ask to convert things for you. So I have 1 pound of ground lamb. Now it says mince, but trying to find mince around here right now is just about impossible. So I went with ground lamb because my research said it should work just fine. To that, I have my measuring spoons out. I'm going to add some pepper. I need, where'd it go? Teaspoon. So half a teaspoon, quarter teaspoon, half a teaspoon of pepper because I'm working this down a little bit. Okay, half a teaspoon of pepper. This is 2 teaspoons of salt. So where's my 1 teaspoon? 1 teaspoon. I like to use sea salt. I think the flavor is better, and I know it's a little bit healthier for you. Or should I say maybe less unhealthy. The hard part is trying to get it into a spoon. So yes, I am watching this from the backside. Here we go. Oop, and I spilled half of it. So that. Boom. Salt's in. Okay. It calls for 3 teaspoons of garlic powder. I have minced garlic. Explosive minced garlic. This is like a anti-vampire grenade. There we are. Bam. So I use a little bit less because I have less meat here. Here we go. Now it calls for onion salt. It says 3 teaspoons. I am going to do 1 for the simple fact that I've already got salt in there, so I don't want too much salt. Actually, I may even do a half teaspoon. I don't want to be too much salt. Okay, I feel good about that. Now, yes, I'm kind of mixing things up a little bit, but why not? Have a little fun. Carter, get out of there. The other thing it calls for is 2 teaspoons of mixed herbs. I cannot figure out what the hell for the life of me mixed herbs is. There's so many different things out there. So I am going to add in a few different things. I'm going to add in a little bit of spicy garlic. Not quite a teaspoon of spicy garlic once I get it. So a little more garlic and a little bit of zing. I have parsley. Now this is where you see my Italian come up. Pinch and a half. Now let's go with 2 1/4 pinches of parsley. And I got some basil. 1 good sized pinch of basil. Okay. And because I want to be different, a smidge of crushed red pepper, because I like the flavor. Now, we have all of our ingredients together here. I'm just going to combine it. And this is what some people consider to be the nasty part. You can do this with a spoon. You can do this with a spatula. You don't have to use your bare hands to do it. But personally, I think you get a better mix when you get right in there and get to it. And you know what? Get involved with your food. Food isn't just meant to be enjoyed eating. You got to enjoy making it too. Well, yeah. You should, though. I'm just kind of kneading it around until I get a nice consistency of everything spread throughout. I don't want any lumps of any seasonings. I want it all spread through it. Okay. That didn't take very long at all. Now comes the fun part that I forgot to do first. So that means I got to wipe my hands off again. Whoop. Big chunks go back in. Scooch. Okay. Now, before I put this in the crock pot, because this is going to go in the crock pot for a few hours to cook, and it'll be ready, I need to, you don't have to do this, but I do it this way, less mess when I'm done. I'm happy with that. There we go. This should be about right. Now, don't tell anybody, but Pam helped me. I'm going to generously coat my foil with Pam. Plop this on here. And it says make it like a loaf. So, mini meatloaf, here we come. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me just rinse the hands. Leave it. Okay, so I'm washing the hands because I'm done touching the meat. Hey. Always wash your hands when you're done touching your meat. And don't let your dogs touch your meat. You know, unless that's their dinner. But this isn't their dinner, so. Okay. Now, I'm just going to kind of wrap this. Start this way. And there's no necessarily set way to do this. Just kind of wrap it up like a good old burrito. Boom. Good to go. Now, I'm going to pop it in our slow cooker. Bam. Nothing else to do. It literally just goes right in there. Click. Click. Let me plug the slow cooker in. Okay. So, temperature high for 4 hours. Now it probably won't take the full 4 hours because it is only 1 pound versus the 2 pounds that originally calls for, but we'll see where it's at in a couple hours and go from there. So until then, well, which for you guys will just be a few seconds, but until then, I'll catch you later. Okay guys, while that's in the crock pot, slow cooked, or whatever you like to call it, I want to take a couple minutes to talk about today's shout out, NY Farm Girls. These are a group of sisters who take the time to illustrate what day-to-day life is about on a farm. Mostly dairy farming, but there's other farming too, obviously. I mean, your fruits and vegetables are all farms. Your beef comes from a farm. Your lamb comes from, all your meats and veg, all that comes from farming. And I don't think people these days really grasp the concept how important farming is to everyday life. I'm not going to get up on a pedestal here. I'm not going to be doing the soapbox thing, but I just want to really take the time to say, if it wasn't for farms, we would have a much harder time eating anything. The unreasoning hatred of farmers that I see on a daily basis on social media, it's downright scary. I'm a dairy fan. I mean, I don't consume as much milk per se as I did when I was younger, but I put cheese in everything, yogurt. I've got tzatziki sauce for today's recipe, which is a yogurt-based product. Um, Dairy and farming come into our lives every single day. Even if you go to Burger King or McDonald's or Arby's or any fast food place, that all came from a farm. Maybe it's not the best type of farm at that point. I don't know where they source their meats from, but it came from a farm. And that is, most farms around here are family owned, local small businesses. And especially right now where they're seeing the demand for their product drop off significantly because bars, restaurants, schools, everything's closed right now. We really need to take the time to sit down and thank our farmers for still being out there every day. Just because the schools are closed and they're not calling for milk doesn't mean the cows don't stop producing. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't mean the cows stop producing milk, and I'm leaving that in. For the why not? Because you need to see it's real. That's how serious I am about this. If we lose our farms, we lose our food supply. Period. Even if you're vegan, I don't give a shit. Guess what? Vegetables are farmed. And yes, you can grow your own little garden, but for the most part, it comes from farms. And before everybody starts getting into the whole greenhouse, no. Your Impossible and your Beyond and all that come from a factory. The carbon footprint of that factory makes it at just about any farm look non-existent. So bear that in mind. But thank the farmer. Check out NY Farm Girls on Facebook. They've got a YouTube channel. They got merch. I definitely recommend checking it out and just give them a little support. I grew up on a beef farm, small beef farm. Working on a dairy farm was my first job as a kid. And yeah, I grew up on milk straight from the dairy. It was no go to the store to buy milk. It was, we finished milking for the day, go to the tank, open the spigot and dump it right in and take that jug of milk home. That's how you got milk. I tell you, nothing quite like it. Milk does the body good. So, if you're interested in what you can do to help out, check out the American Dairy Association. Check out NY Farm Girls. Those are the local. Well, the NY Farm Girls is local. American Dairy Association is national. But check those out. See what you can do to help. And ladies, thank you for everything you do to advocate for agriculture. I wouldn't be able to do stuff like this without a farm. So, thank you very much. And I'll be back in a little bit once this has done some cooking. So the meat is almost done, and I'm getting everything ready to go. So when it comes out, I can slice some up and give us a good try. On this plate, I just got a pita. You can really use any type of flatbread you want to use with this. I mean, generally it comes with a naan or pita style bread. I just happened to grab pita today because it was the first thing I found. I'm going to add to that, if I can find the edge here, tzatziki and some lettuce. If I can get the bag open. There we go. Throw some lettuce on here. You can use any type of lettuce, you can use whatever the hell you want, really, when it comes down to it. Doesn't much matter. But and that would be the slow cooker saying it's done. So yes, I like my tzatziki sauce, I won't lie. There you go. So this went in 4 hours ago and has been on low temperature or high temperature cook. I recently checked the temperature. The proper cooking temperature is 160 plus. It was about 190 when I checked it about 20 minutes ago. So we know it's properly cooked. Now the juice, some of the juice drained off inside the slow cooker, which is not a problem. Oh God, I wish I could share the smell with you guys, because the smell is amazing. God, it looks like a little bit of meatloaf. Now, the trick with this though is you want to cut thin slices. And just lay them on. Not that I'm like a professional kebab maker, but I've done my research on this. You cut some thin slices and lay them on. Just like so. That one didn't want to cut at the end. Do one more slice here. Yeah, boy. Get right on top there. Okay. Now, I'm hesitating a minute because I don't want to burn my mouth, but screw it. Here we go. Hot, 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 hot. Ah. Mmm. Oh, yes. Very tasty. Again, I wish I could transmit the smell through the video for you guys, but there we go. Fakeaway kebabs. Looks like takeaway, but homemade. And obviously, there's a million more things you can do to customize this recipe to your own taste, but that's what we got. So to wrap this up, I made Fakeaway takeaway kebabs today. Thank you to Dale for the recipe. This is going to be awesome. This is definitely going to be going on my remake list. I'm super stoked that I can make this at home now. It's something I wanted to be able to do for a while. You only get to get it once in a while at a fair or type event or something where they've got one of those, mobile food vendors that does these. And damn, it's good. So, remember, have fun cooking, enjoy it. Food is life, food is love, and food makes everything better. Take it from the Cool Dad. While we're on this little break, take a look at what you can do with your life to improve things, make your lot better in life, because everybody has the potential to do it. You can. I know you can, because I've got faith in you. Till next time, have fun, keep it sane, stay safe and healthy. Catch you all later.